All right, everyone. Now we have to talk about U.S. job growth. Of course, it was revised sharply downward by more than 800,000 jobs for the last quarter. There is a caveat to this. Now, this is not good. It means unemployment is clearly going to rise, etc. There is a caveat, though. Some of this is reabsorption. I've talked about this before. Some of it is people had part-time jobs, like a side job or something like that. Because imagine, a person can have more than one job, right? So job growth doesn't really tell the whole story. A person can have 3 jobs. They could have a main job and a couple of side hustles or something like that. Some of it is actually anti-inflationary reabsorption. So people that were on that margin where they needed to have a second job in order to compensate for Biden inflation, they've now quit that second job, and so that job was lost, which is actually good news. It's not necessarily bad news at all. The rise in unemployment is not necessarily a bad thing in some ways. Some people were employed that didn't want to be employed, or they had a second job that they didn't really want to have, but there was Biden inflation, and so they had to compensate. Thankfully, they were able to find a second job, a side, some part-time job or side hustle, and to pay their bills. That's actually not bad news, to tell the truth, on that end. The other end, though, is that much of that is not people releasing their side jobs or anything like that. It's literally just people being forced out of work. And that's because the economy is crappy. And so businesses are failing, and people are being put out of work. My condolences to any clanker, by the way, that is suffering from this. Bidenomics has been a disaster for the United States. You've got sticky inflation. You've got people taking out credit card debt in order to buy groceries, which is absolutely insane. Normally, under a good economy, people begin taking out debt in order to buy luxury goods, or buy improved things. Like they bought a new dishwasher or something like that. Maybe they bought a boat. That's under a good economy. That's not what you've got right now. You've got people taking out debt in order to buy literally groceries. So, the stuffed peppers that you made were bought on plastic, effectively. U.S. job growth has effectively cratered, actually. And you've still got the inflation. You're looking at a situation that is very perilously close to stagflation at this point. When the revision is this sharp, we're talking about more than 800,000 jobs. At the same time where you've still got significant inflation, month over month and year over year, you're not looking at a good economy. No, not under any circumstances. No reasonable person would look at it and say, well, inflation is pacing ahead of wages. People are taking out second jobs, but now they're beginning to lose jobs, and this is a healthy economy. No, it's not a healthy economy. It's a very, very unhealthy one. Biden is in denial about this. He probably doesn't even get the reports on the economy at this point. He's too far gone. Kamala gets them, though. She just ignores them. She probably cackles about it. People are suffering. They can't even buy basic necessities. That's great. She probably finds it funny because she's a fucking psychopath. The economy has effectively cratered. And this is just the foreshock. This is just the first revision with regards to the U.S. jobs reporting. With regards to inflation, that's still sticky. This is just the first one that we've gotten. We're going to get more. And before the election as well, we're going to get more revisions over the coming couple of months. It couldn't be worse, actually, for the standing administration. Now, I'm of two minds. And I don't like to say this. My first mind is this is actually, technically speaking, politically and pragmatically, technically a good thing. And that's because if people feel the pain of the current administration, they're less likely to vote for the incumbent ticket. But I don't wish that on anyone. So my second mind is I don't really want this to happen. I don't want another Great Recession, although I think we're headed for one. I'm not interested in seeing anyone suffer because I know what it's like. I'm relatively aware of what it's like, literally during the Great Recession, to be poor. And it's not fun. It's not a fun experience. And that's mild compared to what we've got now, because at least then it wasn't inflationary. Yeah, of course, a quarter of the homes on your block are up for foreclosure. They're up for sale. And people have lost their jobs. Unemployment is high. But at least you didn't have the inflation. At least you could get by. You could put food in your belly. Right now, we've got significant inflation, and we've got rising unemployment, and we've got all of these other problems, and a bunch of foreign politics problems too. We're sending hundreds of billions of dollars to foreign nations that we don't need to send to them. You've got them all at the same time. It's basically like you put all the ingredients in the witch's cauldron, and what comes out might not be very, very pleasant. That's basically Bidenomics in a nutshell. By the way, Donald Trump needs to do more to tie Kamala Harris to Bidenomics, because it's been an abysmal failure in every way, shape, and form. Again, with unemployment now, with U.S. job growth cratering, with inflation and so forth, he needs to tie her to it, bind her to the economic policies of the administration that she was currently part of. This would be strategically intelligent to do. Yeah, job growth. Revised downwards by 800,000 jobs. That's not exactly insignificant now, is it? I would think that would be significant. Unfortunately, the legacy media doesn't seem to want to talk about it very much. I wonder why. Could it be that they've decided who they want to be the next president of the United States? I don't know. No, it's a mystery to me. Couldn't have anything to do with that now, could it? That's about all. Peace out.